afternoon, everyone. Surprise! Tell me where I am. If you're a Python, you know where I am. Yeah, I'm at school. I'm in our library. Well, I have lots of things to get done this time of year, as always. And so since I'm here, I decided I'm going to do story time from our library. Tell me it's different. It's totally different. I'm looking at a camera. I'm not looking at all of you guys sitting on the carpet. And that stinks. That stinks really bad. But at least we can still do story time together. And I've heard so many great stories from parents about how you guys are enjoying story time. So thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me. And I miss you all so greatly. And so this week we are celebrating Teacher Appreciation Week. And so with that, I've actually been meeting with our leadership team, who you know puts together all our dress up days and activity days and stuff like that. And so they actually decided on a theme called Steampunk, STEAM, S-T-E-A-M-P-U-N-K. So if you Google that, you can kind of see what they dressed like. This is an idea that came out of the late 1800s. I know, super long time ago, but really cool theme. So we're having a good time. And today we are celebrating the Wright Brothers. And if you've not heard of them, they are fully the dudes who brought flight to us. They invented flight. So steampunk is all about science and invention and time. So we're going to have a good time this week. And with that, I'm not going to waste any more time. We're going to get into story time. And we are going to read today, Oh, the Things They Invented, all about great inventors, by Bonnie Worth and illustrated by Aristides Ruiz. I did not know how to say that till right now, and I'm not even sure I said it right, but we're going to roll with it. All right, so here we go, friends. First story time. Oh, hold on. The original. No nose picking, no finger licking. We need to have clean hands to touch our books. Indeed we do, friends. So, here we go. Oh, the things they invented. I'm the cat in the hat, and as everyone knows, I'm a cat who is fond of machines and gizmos. All through human history, since before the year one, things have been invented to help get stuff done. Tools improve daily life, and I think you will find they are fabulous products of the human mind. The inventors of tools from old and new ages will now spring to life in these very pages. If you're ready to meet them, please turn your attention to the Super Duper Invention Convention. That's where they are. So in this book, we're going to meet inventors and the things they invented, many of which we already know about. So let's do this. Johann Gutenberg. He was alive around 1439. He invented the movable type of printing press. You might be like, what does that mean? Well, we're going to find out. Gutenberg, this guy, who worked with metals like gold, found a way to print books that improved on the old. Before, books were copied by hand. This is so. The pace of these scribes was incredibly slow, or pages were carved out of one wooden block, then inked and pressed down onto smooth paper stock. A book took forever to make, and that's why books were for rich folks alone to go buy. This was back in the 1400s, so, you know, made a big difference back then. Don't we feel so rich in our books, though? I bet that's why. Next guy, James Watt, around 1769. He invented the modern steam engine. Perhaps young James Watt watched a tea kettle steam and there got the spark for his steam engine dream. Did he see the effect that boiled water brings? The steam creates power that then can move things. To make matters clear, the things will not show how a steam engine works. Turn the page and you'll know. I think I said not, but it says now. Let's see what those thing 1 and thing 2 dudes are going to show us. Water heats in a boiler until it makes steam. Then steam leaves the boiler in a powerful stream. It enters a cylinder, causing pistons to go. But when the steam cools, the pistons will slow. Before Watt, steam engines Engines did not work well at all. When the hot steam cooled down, the pistons would stall. Watt took the cooled steam, turned to water by then, and pumped it back to the boiler to heat up again. Factory machines kept chugging this way, and steam locomotives could choo-choo all day. Eli Whitney invented the cotton gin in 1793. To separate fibers from the cotton plant's seeds took many hands picking for long hours indeed. Mr. Whitney's all-new cotton sorting machine turned a slow, dirty job into one quick and clean. The gin used a screen, and it worked simply to hold the seeds back while hooks pulled the cotton lint through. A big moving brush cleared the lint to make way for the next round of cotton. Why, that gin ran all day. Louis Daguerre. In 1837, he invented early photography. Did you know that photography is only a little over, well, really at this point, almost only 200 years old? It's not very old at all. The convention's next star, standing right next to me, Daguerre, who helped make the first photography. He based it on a clever and ancient gizmo called the camera obscura, which we will now show. It's a box with a hole, and it makes one thing frown. Oh, it shows us how to do it. That's pretty cool, because the image it captures comes out upside down. Another big problem, the image will fade, and that's what Daguerre's big improvement was made. That's where it was made. Parker cannot read today, but that's not abnormal, let's be real. Slipped into the camera was a copper plate bathed in crystals, iodine crystals. Its power was great. The plate copied an image that no one could see until mercury fumes made it clear as can be. To keep it from smudging, Daguerre was then able to soak it in water, plus salt from his table. Friends, that is how we develop. In high school, you may be interested in photography, and you actually kind of learn this method when you take a photography class, and you learn how to develop your own pictures. It's pretty darn cool. Samuel Morse. He invented messages by wire. If you've ever heard of the Morse Code, it's this guy. In 1838. Before Morse, the mail traveled only by letter, but mail sent by wire moved much faster and better. Pulses of current could work in effect to cause an electromagnet to deflect. The magnet moved an arm that beat out a mode of dashes and dots, we all call Morse Code. Our Congress approved of Morse Code, and what's more, told Morse to string wires from DC to Baltimore. Now, DC is actually in Maryland, and so is Baltimore, but if you look on a map, they're actually pretty far apart. Baltimore's near the north part of the state, and DC is near the southern part of the state. So you can Google and see how far DC is from Baltimore. Telegraphs became the latest sensation. Soon telegraph wires linked up the whole nation. Soon after that, Alexander Graham Bell, in 1876, invented the telephone. Son of a deaf mother, Mr. Bell really cared about improving the lives of the hearing impaired. His phonautograph, yes, phonautograph, yeah, I said it right, used a real human ear to draw sound vibrations the deaf could read, but not hear. Because we all know that deaf people are hard of hearing. Usually they cannot hear, right? Yes. The gizmo led him to think maybe he could send off sounds by electricity. His assistant, Tom Watson, receiver to ear, heard Bell down the hall transmit sound he could hear. Really cool. In 1877, Thomas Edison invented the phonograph. Here we go. Before the tape player or the handy CD, phonographs with needles played records, you see. After improving Bell's telephone, Edison had the intention of making another telephone invention. It would copy down calls so businesses could track who had called up and who to call back. Just like your ear, a receiver caught sound copied down by a needle on a cylinder round. In addition to messages, it copied music and song and became all the rage before very long. That's when we started recording music onto things, right? Pretty cool. All right. Here we are. Gottlieb Daimler. I hope I said that right, but let's be real. 1886, he invented the four-wheeled automobile. What we call a car now, right? A man named Daimler, I did say it wrong, that's okay, whom I will now mention, made a gas-fed internal combustion engine. He used this engine to power a bicycle, turning it into the first motorcycle. Next, he took a stagecoach and unhitched the horse team, then fit it with an engine. Now what was his scheme? The wheels spun around, and experts all feel that this was the first four-wheeled automobile. Isn't that cool? Yeah. Now, the guys we are celebrating today, Wilbur and Orville Wright, in 1903, invented fixed-winged motorized aircraft. All right. When motorized airplanes had all so far failed, the brothers Wright felt that they had the deal nailed. Making wings shaped for flight was the Wrights' fondest goal, to allow for balance and flying control. A movable rudder that fit on the rear was added to help the brothers to steer. On a hill in Kitty Hawk, after many a try, Wilbur one day set out to fly, and 852 feet in the air Wilbur flew. He made like the birds and made history too. Absolutely. All right, friends. So, computer inventors, 1936 to 2010. Did you know that computer invention started way back in 1936? I didn't know that till right meow. So, let's read about it. Here we go. In 1936, Konrad Zuse invented a machine, the first working computer the world's ever seen. This computer had everything a modern one has: input, memory, process, output, and all of that jazz. Steve Jobs and his team all get a big nod for the Apple computer, the iPad, and iPod, not to mention the iPhone, which many of you have, as I understand, is a computer that fits in the hand. Because you have to remember the Cat in the Hat, well, he was created back in like 1960 something. So for him, an iPhone wouldn't be a normal thing, would it? No, it wouldn't. And lastly, Tim Berners-Lee from 1989 to 1990 created the World Wide Web. So friends, when we put in a web address, www.whatever.com, it means World Wide Web. Did you know that? www means World Wide Web. That's right. A man who was really a no big deal celeb had a vision for something called the World Wide Web. This web thing would have no bosses or leaders. Its contributors would be its viewers or readers. His own computer, which was brand Next, set up a web of computerized text. Users added content as they went along. The web was soon up and it was going strong. Politics, facts, personal blogs, home videos of kittens and dogs. We see those all the time. Tim Berners-Lee, now read my lips, put the knowledge of the world at your fingertips. And speaking of tips, I have one for you. With a dream and a plan, you can make gizmos too. And if stumped for ideas, please don't forget that you can put on my red and white cat's thinking hat. Oh, he doesn't share that with many people. We just feel so lucky. And in this book too, there's a glossary, a small dictionary of some words that we said and some that we didn't, and that's okay. You can always take a look if you're not sure what a word means in the glossary in the back of a book and see what it means. And friends, if you are creative and you think of all these cool things to make and you want to learn more about inventions, when we get back to school, you can visit the library, our library, or wherever you're at, your school library or county library, and you can go to the 600 section, 600, and look up inventions. That's actually where I got this book from the 609, which is in the 600 section. That's what the spine label says. And you can read all about inventions. Now, any of the people that we mentioned in here, though, you can go to the biography section and learn about any of those people that we just read about to find out more about how they worked their inventions, how they came up with them, the trials they went through to see if they work, things like that. It's pretty cool. So, what are you going to invent today, friends? I can't wait to see. Remember, you can always hashtag Python Strong and Parker Stories to share your inventions with me. And if not, your grown-up can also send it to me on Instagram DM, or they can also put it on our Facebook page, Pyle Elementary FUSD. So Until next time. That was a lot of information in a very short amount of time, right? I know, but that's okay. Check out our Facebook and Instagram for our activity for the day. And remember, it is Teacher Appreciation Week, so send them a nice little note telling them how much you appreciate them. Until next time, I am Miss Parker with Parker's House of Stories, and I will see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.